Yes, we can. So, first of all, thank you everyone for being here. So I will just start with some notes. This is an open mic, so if you want to speak and you don't need to say it now. If you feel like it, someone shared something and you reminded something that you really want to share, please come to me or to us or Julia, and we will take note, and then you can come here and share. And there's no right or wrong in a way. We don't tolerate any, how do you say, hate speech, exactly. No hate speech, but besides that, if you want to share a poem or just how you feel about everything that is going on, no, there's no right or wrong. Just before we started, I just wanted to say that personally, I don't believe in the idea that we don't have the right to be tired, just because some people are worse off than we are. So it's true that there's people that are in a way worse situation than we are, but it's also true that we have privilege to be here, to take this time on Wednesday, to be in a safe-ish country, and so we have to use the power of that privilege. Even so, I care, of course, we all care about what's happening 5,000 kilometers from Lisbon in Gaza, precisely because I believe in a culture of care and empathy. So before we start, I just wanted to thank you all for being here, but also thank you very much for taking to the streets on Saturday. It was really, really beautiful. Lisbon shouted for the freedom of all people, and we shouted until our voices were hurting because we believe, and we all might, we really, like, we all believe in a free Palestine in our lifetime. And we all believe that there's no safety in silence. That's why we are here. So thank you, really, for everyone who came on Saturday, and they are here every Wednesday. And it's really a privilege to share the journey with you all. So to start, we will have Nico. You ready? Okay. You can come.
Não preciso, querida. Obrigada. Toda a gente fala inglês? Okay. Well, I'm actually going to read a poem in Portuguese, so there. But I wanted to say, like so many of you, I feel really, really, really shit, really depressed, really hurt. I don't know if any of you on the way here listened to Bizan's voice message. She just left one where she started crying, saying she wanted to go home, saying she didn't want to go to the desert. They're sick of it, and we're also sick of it. And I think it's important for us to acknowledge that, because we are all on the edge. We are all very easily hurt at the moment, very easily snapping at the moment. I speak for myself. And we need to acknowledge that, and we need to, and I say we, I'm actually putting a mirror in front of my face, because I think many of you probably do as well, just reading and seeing images and more, and we think it can't get any more horrible. It does, and we need to find a place to stop whatever we're doing, whatever we're thinking, whatever we are watching. and do like a minute of silence or 2 minutes of silence on our own and let the tears fall, because probably they will fall. I know I haven't done that in a long, long time, and that means that I'm not really looking after myself, and we really need to look after ourselves. And thank you for being here, because being here feels like we are all collectively looking after each other, and I think that's really, really important. I brought a poem to read in Portuguese, and I'm also going to do a song in English. So I'll start with a poem. It's a poem by Federico Garcia Lorca, and I hope I have enough light to read it. Okay. It's a bit of the poem. The poem is called Two Odes. Já não há quem reparta o pão e o vinho, nem quem cultive ervas na boca do morto, nem quem abra o linho do repouso, nem quem chore pelas feridas dos elefantes. Não há mais que 1 milhão de ferreiros a forjar cadeias para as crianças que hão de vir. Não há mais que 1 milhão de carpinteiros que fazem ataúdes sem cruz. Não há mais que uma multidão de lamentos que abrem as vestes à espera da bala. O homem que despreza a pomba devia falar. Devia gritar nu entre as colunas e dar a si mesmo uma injeção para apanhar a lepra e chorar um pranto tão terrível que dissolvesse seus anéis e seus telefones de diamante. Os mestres mostram às crianças uma luz maravilhosa que vem do monte. Mas o que chega é uma reunião de cloacas, onde gritam as escuras ninfas da cólera. Os mestres apontam com devoção as enormes cúpulas perfumadas, mas debaixo das estátuas não há amor. Não há amor sob os olhos de cristal definitivo. O amor está nas carnes laceradas pela sede, na choupana diminuta que luta com a inundação. O amor está nos fossos onde lutam as serpentes da fome, no triste mar que baloiça aos cadáveres das gaivotas e no escuríssimo beijo que fere sob as almofadas. Mas o velho das mãos translúcidas dirá: amor, 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 aclamado por milhões de moribundos. Dirá: amor, 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 entre a sede entretecida de ouro, trêmula de ternura. Dirá: paz, 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 entre o calafrio de facas e melões de dinamite. Dirá: amor, 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 até que seus lábios se tornem de prata. Entretanto, os negros que tiram para fora as escarradeiras, os rapazes que tremem sob o terror pálido dos diretores, as mulheres afogadas em óleos minerais, a multidão de martelo, de violino a nuvem, há de gritar, ainda que lhes estourem os miolos contra o muro, há de gritar frente às cúpulas, há de gritar louca de fogo, há de gritar louca de neve, há de gritar com a cabeça cheia de excrementos, há de gritar como todas as noites juntas, há de gritar como uma voz tão rasgada, até que as cidades tremam como meninas e rompam as prisões de óleo e de música. Porque nós queremos o pão nosso de cada dia, flor de amieiro e perene ternura debulhada. Porque nós queremos que se cumpra a vontade da terra, que dá seus frutos para todos. Thank you.
Bom, pessoal, eu queria aproveitar para
not being a
agradecer por
singer,
estar aí desse lado. É mais
I'm going to sing something
Vigília pela
without a
Palestina,
guitar.
aqui no
It's
Independente.
again a Sinead O'Connor song. This one I just slightly altered some words, not as many as last time. And I have here now the reason why I think Sinead, that we wished was still with us, wouldn't mind. In September 2014, only a few months after a bloody Israeli, war on the Gaza Strip, Sinead cancelled a concert in an Israeli city. Speaking with hot press at the time to explain her stance, O'Connor said, "Nobody with any sanity, including myself, would have anything but sympathy for the Palestinian plight." She would also say, there's not a sane person on earth who in any way supports what the fuck the Israeli authorities are doing. So I want to believe that she wouldn't mind. She probably would mind more the voice than the lyrics, but hey, we can all be Sinead O'Connors. In this heart lies for you a lark born Palestine, Palestine, Palestine. I am rooting for you, for only to liberate you. My fight is for you. Palestine, Palestine, Palestine. This is my grief for you, for only the loss of you, the hurting of you. Palestine, Palestine, Palestine. There are rays on the weather. Soon these tears will have cried. All loneliness have died. Palestine, Palestine, Palestine. You will be set free. The horror will stop at last. No time is too fast. Palestine, Palestine. Stay still in our homes, so we're calling a small action, an hour, 1 hour action on Friday at 12:30 in front of the Zionist embassy, Israeli embassy, 12:30 to 1:30 on Friday. If you need the address, I can give it to you, but yeah, just on Friday, if you can, it would be really important because they need to know we are watching and we are not stopping. Thank you. Free Palestine. Free, free!
Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! 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 Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Stop the genocide! Stop the genocide! Stop, stop the genocide! Stop the genocide! Stop the genocide! Stop, stop the genocide! Stop, stop the genocide! Stop the genocide! Stop the genocide! Stop, stop the genocide! Stop, stop the genocide! Stop the genocide! Stop the genocide! Stop, stop the genocide! Stop, stop the genocide!
Olá, boa noite. Eu tenho só um anúncio super rápido para fazer. 2 anúncios, na verdade. Vou fazer em inglês and then I'll do this brief announcement in English so that everyone understands. O primeiro anúncio é que nós temos ainda bandeiras aqui, portanto, se ainda não têm uma bandeira pendurada à vossa janela, podem levar uma hoje. Temos aqui, portanto, é só virem aqui falar connosco. O outro anúncio é que temos algumas pessoas, que estão aqui à minha frente, que têm uns panfletozinhos com instruções sobre como podem doar eSIMs para Gaza. Esta é uma maneira muito prática de ajudar as pessoas em Gaza a manterem-se conectadas, tanto para falarem com pessoas familiares, amigas, como também para mostrarem com fotografias, com registros, os terrores que estão a acontecer lá, que na verdade é importante partilhar para que as pessoas vejam a realidade que se passa em Gaza. So the 2 brief announcements are that we have flags available here, Palestinian flags. So it's an invitation for you to hang one on your window and start a conversation with your neighbors about what's going on in Palestine. And the second announcement is that there are a few people around with some pamphlets about how to donate eSIMs to Gaza. And this is a very practical way to support Palestinians, because this way it's a very important manner for them to keep connected with loving ones who are away from Gaza, and also to share the terrible images of what's going on there. So, thank you.
Okay, so I will just, so last time I shared, context. I have been being part of task force working with some journalists from Gaza from the last 2 months. And last time I shared some of our text messages. And as we have, some of you already heard some of these messages, but I felt that last time it had impact on all of you. And so I did the work of collecting some of those messages that we just shared on WhatsApp to share and to read it to you, because I feel that they are heavy but still very humane and with a lot of empathy. And so I feel that it's important to, in this sense of keeping those voices alive and amplifying those stories, I think it's important to keep amplifying their voices. Also, I wrote on a note the handles of their Instagram. Some of them you probably already follow, but others you maybe don't. So feel free to come over and take a picture of the note if you want to follow them on Instagram, because there's a lot of people, and that's good, reposting and sharing those videos, but it's really important to keep following and keep amplifying the ones, the real, like the ones that are there, the voices from the rescues. So I will just share some now, and then in between people who come here. So this is part of a group that has Hamjad, Bisan, and Haman. One thing that it's important is I text them on, I think it was on Saturday or Sunday. I was feeling super anxious about what was happening in Rafah, and I said something like, sorry, let me just find what is the reply for it. But okay, so I just said like, please stay as safe as possible. I don't even know what to say. I'm here for whatever you need, and I can help remotely. And then I got anxious, so I texted them a lot of times saying, I'm sorry, I cannot help. And so they replied, and Bisan said, there is no need for regret. What is happening is bigger than the whole world. I am so grateful to have you here. And Hamjad said, the difficulty of the matter is that I cannot live here and leave my family here under bombardment. I tried to pick up some things from the company and our home, but the bombing left us with nothing to remember. And this is a text also from Hamjad, but a month ago he said, I lost an archive of 11 years in the war due to the bombing. They bombed my company, which has an archive of everything in Gaza. I was trying to make a specific film for a specific period of time in the strip, but unfortunately the war came and disgraced everything. We are talking with Amazon to take all the materials related to journalists to make a big movie, and another conversation with Netflix, and this is the part that I really think it matters. He said, I don't know if we will do that. We really want the image to arrive without any manipulation. And so there's these big companies offering them a lot of money for just the archive, but then they want to, write the narrative. And they are just afraid of losing all of that, but they want to be the ones to tell the stories. And that's why it's important. They are basically counting on all of us to amplify those stories and to build that collective memory. Okay, so I will keep reading some more after it, but for now, Gigi, you ready? Okay, Gigi.
You go, Gigi.
Hello guys, good night. If you don't mind, I will sit down because I feel too exposed standing up and I don't have much things prepared. So I would like to normalize sitting down at the vigils because in the future, rude. Okay. No, I hope whatever is happening is okay and no one gets hurt. Okay. In the future, I would like to be reading more things at the vigil, perhaps longer things. So, also I want everyone to feel comfortable.
Tens de chegar bocadinho para trás.
Sim.
Por causa das colunas.
And I would like everyone in the future to be more comfortable in sharing things, and maybe if we're sitting down, people will feel more comfortable doing so. Okay. So, I want to start by thanking PTrevolution for always filming the vigils. Because thank you so much. A round of applause for them, please. Thank you so much. For the last 2 weeks, I couldn't come to the vigils because I was in France. And I could watch the vigils online because of them, live on YouTube and on Facebook. Thank you so much for that, because I really, really missed the vigils while I was away. I missed being around you guys. I missed the energy of this. I also missed the arraial that happened here, the anti-fascist arraial on Saturday. So I want to thank whoever chose this place also to do the vigil, because I can still feel the love around, not just because I see everywhere signs saying everyone is welcome here but the fascists, but also because I could see the videos and I could see the pictures of everything that happened here, and I wanted to thank from the bottom of my heart everyone that was here, everyone that helped organize it. Even though I wasn't here, I felt your love all the way from Toulouse, where I was, And yeah, so I just wanted to start with these two things. I'm very, very grateful we have this community here, because on the same day in France, on the 3rd of February, there was a protest for Palestine that I went to in the center of Toulouse. It was around 1,000 people, so nothing close to the number of people we gather on our protests here, even though there is a much bigger Arab population there. So I want to express just how grateful I am for all of you that we are so many people here, and we keep doing this and we keep coming to the protests and we keep making these initiatives, because part of the reason also why I went to France was to get inspired by pro-Palestine movements in other places, to see how the other parts of the world were reacting to the genocide. And I'm not going to say I was disappointed, because there was a lot of initiatives going on, but protest-wise, I'm very, very happy we can scream very loud here and not be scared of the reaction of a police, not be scared of reaction of Zionists. I'm very, very happy we can scream here from the river to the sea. Palestine will be free in any language we want, and all of us can scream it very loud. I'm very, very happy we can announce everywhere and wherever we want that we are hosting an event for a free Palestine, because there, if they wanted to make a meeting, they couldn't tell the university the real reason why they are making a meeting. They were reserving a room for an event, and they couldn't tell the real reason. Sometimes they had to hand out leaflets and not be able to promote the event widely that they were doing, because they were scared that it was going to get cancelled by the state or not authorized by the state. So, not to say that I am grateful to the Portuguese state. At least they have called for a ceasefire. Not many European countries have done that. We could be doing way, way, way more, but I am very, very happy with everyone that is here. So again, since I was expressing my gratitude, I wanted to express that as well. A round of applause for all of you for being here. Thank you so much. Now, I don't have many things prepared tonight, so I will just share one thing like I did the last time I was here, which is reading the daily updates from the broadcast channel of Let's Talk Palestine. I will only read the last paragraph that they sent, which is about the situation in the West Bank. They said that Israeli forces killed Palestinian in, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it, Qalqiliya. They abducted 22 across the West Bank, plus settlers shot 2 Palestinians, burned a car, and threw Molotov cocktail at a home. There was another thing that is happening in the West Bank, which is the expansion of settlements and using the fact of what is happening in Gaza to build more settlements. So since the 7th of October, 17 colonies were fast-tracked, plus 4 approved, which means 3,700 housing units. I think it's important to talk about this, since when we say from the river to the sea, it's important to remember that, as we say in Arabic, Palestine ما بتتجزأ. It's not, we can't divide it. We can't divide it into the West Bank and Jerusalem and Gaza. Palestinians are everywhere in Palestine and in the occupied territories. They are here. Palestine is all of those people, there and here. All of the refugees and those that are not refugees but that have had to go and leave and that are here, it's all of them. All of them have the right to return to their homes if they are displaced inside of Palestine or if they are displaced outside of Palestine. And if they are in Palestine, then they have the right to live in freedom. And this is what it means. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Proudly, I will say it every single time. Okay. With that being said, there is a genocide happening in Gaza. And today has been really, really hard because every single day, there is no less than 100 people killed. Every single day. Every single day I have to wake up to this message. And I remember in October, when we first started these vigils, we would come here every week. And every week we would say, it's been 1 week, it's been 2 weeks, this is week 4, this is week 5. And every week I would get surprised with the number of how many weeks have already passed. But coming from Syria, I know that it's not just, however, I lost count. How many weeks? Does someone know? Someone here has to know. How many weeks has it been? I think it's hard to do the math because it's been 75 years. It hasn't been just week. It's been 75 years, and I'm tired. I know we're all tired. It's really hard to gather my hope and come here. But as I said, I do have hope when I see you guys, but it's really, really hard. It's really hard that after months of this happening, instead of talking about a ceasefire, they are talking about an invasion of Rafah, where you have 1.5 million people already, and where all of them are living in tents. I don't understand the world that we live in. I don't know how I will keep going on. I know that coming here helps with going on, so thank you guys. I don't know what we should do. I invite everyone to think about what else could we be doing, because what we need is an immediate ceasefire. And we're talking about an invasion of Rafah, while instead of calling for a ceasefire, after so many months and weeks have passed. So I don't know what we should do. Should we let's think all together? Should we talk more to people that are not aware about this? Should we talk more to Zionists? Should we try to convince Zionists? This is a conversation I had with someone in France while I was there, and he told me, you know, it's really, really difficult to argue with racists. But okay, like for me, I can't just label someone a racist and then allow them to continue murdering children, right? We had a fascist demonstration here, and we made you guys made, I was here with you in spirit, an anti-fascist demonstration showing the love to everyone here, writing on the walls about the love for everyone here. Let's use this energy and try to think of something together, because I can't go on like this anymore. I can't. Let's have more empathy, I guess, for the fascists and the racists and their mental illness that's happening in their mind, and try to convince them, try to talk to them. I know I went to a Catholica. I went to a very, very right-wing university. I had one of my best friends there when I was in the train on October 7th, after Israel had already killed thousands of people, had the audacity to look at me and tell me, you know, before I was a bit torn, and now I think I'm more pro-Israel. He looked me in the eyes while he said this, and I could see that he wasn't very sure of what he's saying, that he wasn't very proud of what he was saying, that he wasn't very convinced. I could see that he knew that he would lose an argument if I had any respect for him to have an argument with him at that moment. So what I invite all of you and myself to do is to gather maybe a little bit more of respect for these people, because maybe if we talk to these people, something could change. Maybe if they vote differently, if they use their influence, something could change. Something has to change. We can't go on like this. Ceasefire, please. How difficult it is to just make a fucking ceasefire. Okay, guys, I don't think sitting down was a good idea. I'm getting too comfortable. Okay, I'm gonna read you a poem in Portuguese. And then I'm going to give the microphone to someone else. Thank you very much. Okay.
Os diretos é assim. Sem ensaios, acontece e a gente desfruta. Agora já sabem, se quiserem apoiar aqui o nosso trabalho, entrem em contato connosco. Estamos aqui aqui no lado independente para acompanhar mais uma vigília, já vamos no meio de dezena e meia, mais de uma dezena e meia
Okay.
dias pela Palestina.
It's from Hanan Ashrawi.
Continuamos
She
aqui,
is a
vamos
Palestinian
calçar
diplomat.
todas as quartas-feiras enquanto
She wrote this poem called Do Diário de uma Criança de Quase 4 anos. Forgive me if my Portuguese is not going to be super correct while reading this. Amanhã vão-me tirar as ligaduras. Pergunto a mim própria se vou conseguir ver meia laranja, meia maçã, metade da cara da minha mãe, com o meu único olho que me resta. Eu não vi a bala, mas senti a dor a explodir dentro da minha cabeça. A imagem dele não desapareceu, a do soldado com uma grande arma nas suas mãos instáveis e uma expressão no olhar que eu não conseguia entender. Se consigo vê-lo tão claramente com meus olhos fechados, talvez seja porque dentro de nossas cabeças todos temos um par de olhos sobressalentes para compensar os que perdemos. No próximo mês, no meu aniversário, vou receber um molho de vidro novo. Talvez as coisas me pareçam redondas e gordas por dentro. Olhei através de todos os meus berlindes e eles fazem o mundo parecer de veras estranho. Ouvi dizer que uma criança de 9 meses também perdeu um molho. Pergunto a mim própria se o meu soldado também disparou sobre ela. Um soldado à cata de catreias com o olho nos olhos. Eu já sou bastante crescida, tenho quase 4 anos. Já vi o suficiente da vida, mas ele ainda é um bebê e não estava a par de nada. There is one more poem I'd like to read to you. It's a little bit shorter. It's called Fundamentos. After that, I will speak a little bit longer and then I will give the mic, I promise. Okay. It's by Murid al-Barghouti. He died in 2021. Coca-Cola, Chase Manhattan, General Motors, Christian Dior, McDonald's, Shell, Dynasty, Hilton International, Sangam, Kentucky Fried Chicken, gás lacrimogêneo, matracas, polícia secreta. Ibn Khaldun disse, são esses os fundamentos de Estado entre os árabes. I think it speaks a lot to my disappointment with the Arab leaders and the governments of the whole world. But this is just to remind you that, as I've said in previous vigils, all of us, Arabs at least, have the Palestinian cause in our mind and in our hearts since we are babies, since we are born. Dami Filistini, it's in our blood. Yet still our governments are the most disappointing pieces of shit that exist on this universe. And I really apologize because I know there are children here, so I should control my language. Anyway, this is not like, don't lose faith and hope because we are here to stay. The fight is not going to be short nor easy. It's going to be very, very long. After we reach a ceasefire, the fight is still going to be really, really long. But first we need to focus on the ceasefire. So I wanted to remind everyone of that. Thank you again for being here. Thank you, everyone. Oh, and just this, what I read is the things that we should boycott. So if you really care, apart from just being here, put your money where your words are. Boycott these companies, McDonald's and Burger King. I know it's hard, but I really loved their vegan burgers, but you can go to Mother Burger for that. Last time I went to Burger King and paid for their vegan burgers, it was like an €8 burger. And Mother Burger has for €1 cheaper that are better, so you can do that. Boycott Coca-Cola and Pepsi, very unfortunately, I know, but you can buy them from Continente brand. Boycott Zara. When I went to France, they told me they did an action against Zara and they actually entered inside the shop to educate people about not buying from Zara. And remember that educating people is very, very important because I speak about Palestine so much, I share so much stories that sometimes I think everyone around me already knows, what I'm talking about, but the other day a friend of mine asked me, what is pink washing? And I'm like, okay, but you've been my friend for 3 years and you still don't know what is pink washing. So it's fun, like, we should, things that, for those of you who don't know, pink washing is Israel using the rights, the fact that they're pretending that they are progressive in terms of gay rights, and this is why you should support them, claiming that this is why you should support them instead of the Arabs that are very oppressive towards LGBTQ people, which is, first of all, not true, because every year when Israel does the Pride Parade, there are attacks by Israelis on the people that are there. And second of all, it is not true, because Israel definitely does not care about gay people when it is bombing gay people or using gay people for their sexuality. So educate people about pinkwashing, educate people about greenwashing, which is also them using the fact that they're progressive in terms of environment. I just want to say this one last thing. When I was in Bordeaux, I ended up in a climate protest out of nowhere, and 2 meters in front of me there was Greta Thunberg, also out of nowhere, with a Palestinian kufiya around her shoulders, and that gave me some hope. Then I was walking a bit more, screaming end to fossil fuels, and a rainbow appeared, because it was raining and it was sunny at the same time. So that thing gave me a little bit of hope. So I want to leave you with that image. Greta Thunberg with a Palestinian kufiya, a bunch of people in France screaming plus de pétrole, and a rainbow on top of the Garonne. And a free Palestine very soon in our lifetimes, from the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
From the sea to the river.
Palestine will live forever.
From the sea to the river.
Palestine will live forever.
From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
Thank you, Gigi. Love you. You're the best. Just adding on what Gigi said, there's this app called No Thanks that can help you boycotting, or you can check if the brand is financing anything. And also just to reinforce that even as a queer woman, yes, not in our name. Peter, feel welcome to come.
Olá, boa noite a todos. Sou Peter. Vou falar pouco, vou dizer algumas palavras em português e também I'll say a few words in English as well. Yeah. É difícil nestas circunstâncias ter esperança, mas acho que é muito importante nós estamos aqui para dar esta solidariedade, porque sabemos que há muitos mortos, há muitos feridos, mas há também pessoas que dependem do nosso apoio moral. Okay? Continuamos a fazer isso, primeira coisa. Também de exigir aos nossos governos que eles façam mais. Portugal está a fazer mais que outros países. Eu venho do Reino Unido, tenho vergonha do meu governo. Mas outras pessoas aqui de outros países imaginam que podem fazer, sei, pedir alguma coisa do governo deles. Mas há outra coisa, e não falamos muito disso, mas temos de dar um apoio material. Sabemos que o UNRWA, United Nations Relief and Works Agency, já foi muito afetado por todos os países que tiraram dinheiro. Okay? Nós podemos ajudar, nós podemos enviar dinheiro. O site do UNRWA é simples encontrar online. Podemos fazer doações diretas ao UNRWA, por exemplo. Eu sei que também a Save the Children está a angariar fundos MAP, Medical Aid for Palestine e outras organizações. Okay? Mas também podemos pensar o que nós podemos fazer individualmente e nas nossas organizações. Eu sou guia turístico aqui em Lisboa há mais que 7 anos agora e sábado, a 11 horas, vou fazer um passeio para angariar fundos para Gaza. Okay? Agora vou falar em inglês para explicar, porque o passeio vai ser em inglês. Okay? E vou passar em inglês. So, just very briefly, what I was just saying for people who don't understand Portuguese, I was saying that it's very difficult to keep hope up in these times, tragic circumstances, but there are a lot of people who've died, but there's still a lot more people living and depending on our solidarity. Okay, so this moral support, this solidarity is vital. And to keep pushing our governments to do more, right? But also, third thing, on top of the boycotts, which obviously are really important, we can offer some material support. And there are different ways of doing this. We can make online donations to UNRWA, United Nations Relief and Works Agency. Just go on their website, UNRWA. They have a donations page, right? You can donate to Save the Children, Medical Aid for Palestine, and there are many others, all right? So I think anything we can do is good. But also think individually, and in our organisations, what we can do, we can organise some events to raise funds for Palestine, because we all know that the need is just so urgent for medical help and relief, for food. I know not all of this is getting through, and the Israelis are blocking stuff. Shame, shame on the Israelis who are blocking aid going to Palestine. So I'm a tour guide. I've been a tour guide in Lisbon for more than 7 years now, and on Saturday morning I'm organising a walking tour in English, right? 11 o'clock in Graça. We'll start at the church in Graça. I'm going to take minimum 4 people. I'll take a maximum of 16 people. What I'm hoping is that here today I can start a list with some people. This will also go out, the details will go out tomorrow on the WhatsApp for the push, the platform for Palestine here in Portugal. So this will be a walk. You might be thinking, probably most of you live in Lisbon. You think, I don't need a guided tour of Lisbon. This will probably be a bit different to a standard tour. I'm going to talk about the workers' movements in Lisbon in the past, and the workers' struggles. I'm going to talk about the enslaved peoples who are brought from all over the world, especially Africa, but all over the world, to Lisbon. We'll see things you don't see on normal walking tours. So even if you know the city pretty well, I think you'll get a lot out of this, right? So what I'm saying is that I'm asking for a minimum donation of 20 euros, right, for this walk, and maximum as much as you can give, yeah? If we have any millionaires, billionaires out there, we want to, come on the walk. I'm not asking you to give me the money, right? You don't know who I am. I could be an imposter and run away with the money, right? But what you have to do, explain this a bit more afterwards, but you have to make a donation to one of these organisations I've mentioned, or another organisation that's donating directly for aid in Palestinians. You give me your name, I'll put you on the list. I've got maximum 16 places, right? I hope I fill it up today, to be honest. And then you make a donation online, and you just turn up to the walk on the day, Saturday. You show me your donation on your phone. You've made a donation. Thank you for your donation, and then you can come on the walk. Okay, that's the way it works. So, if anybody who thinks they're interested in doing that, I think you have a good time. You'll spend some time with great people like some of these people here, and make some friends as well. And I think it's building a community between ourselves is something that's very important as well. So that's all I have to say. If anybody is interested, just come and see me right now after the walk. I'll make a list. If I get more than 16 people, I'll make a backup list, and I'll do a second one, and so on. And I'm hoping, this Saturday we'll be able to raise at least a few hundred euros for Gazans in the situation they're in at the moment. That's about it. So what I have to say is Viva Palestine!
Viva, viva Palestina! 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 Viva, viva Gaza! 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 Viva, viva Gaza!
Ok. I will speak a little bit in Portuguese. Só queria muito agradecer à Tundra, que todas as quartas-feiras está aqui, que nos ajuda com o som. Queria pedir uma salva de palmas. Obrigada, Tundra. Thank you, Tundra. And okay, I will take a second just to read one or two more messages, and then we will have Elizabeth. So this is Hani. She said, you know, Carolina, I have been fighting for 112 days, trying to do my duty as a mom for my 3 little kids and never stop reporting the news on the ground. It's indescribable to think how we feel every single morning when we wake up without any loss, feeling like one more day, one survival. Now I want to evacuate my children to Egypt. It's like a vicious cycle of violence coming closer and closer, and I can't imagine something could happen worse to my children. They have witnessed many massacres, but it was the time of leaving for them. It is the time. I want at least to make them safe until the situation gets better and clear. But don't worry, I will keep filming, reporting, and presenting the news till the situation gets better. It's my duty and my commitment to my community and the people, and it's my passion too. I can't leave it. So, yeah, I don't have anything to say. It's just such strong woman, and this commitment and this effort and this sacrifice that they make every day to make sure we have the stories. It's just a lot. So next, Elizabeth, are you around? Yeah? Yeah, there you are. Woohoo!
Thanks. My name's Elizabeth, and I'm Jewish American. I've been here a few times, and I've been wanting to read this prayer every time I come, but I always get a little bit nervous. It's called the Kaddish. It's the prayer that we say as Jews when someone dies in mourning. And it's really emotional for me because it's the prayer that we always say when someone dies. And it's emotional for me because the only time I ever say this is around other Jews. And it makes me angry when I think about those people who won't say this prayer for all of the Palestinians who have died. I wish they would, and I wish they would say it with me. There's something you should know about this prayer. So it's meant so that you can only say it when there are 10 other people to say it with, because it's supposed to encourage you to come out of your isolation to mourn in community. And that's what we do here, is we come out of our isolation and we mourn in community. And that's also another reason why I want to say the prayer here. Another reason why it's so comforting to say this prayer is because it's very rhythmic. If you listen to the words and the cadence of the poem, or the prayer, it brings you comfort when you say it. And another thing you should know about it is that it doesn't actually mention death. It actually just simply praises God. It praises God and insists that we should always praise God and believe in God's greatness. And when I think of God, I think of the potential of humanity to overcome evil. So when I pray to God and I praise God's greatness and always believe in God's greatness, what I'm doing is I'm believing in the greatness of humanity, that we can always come together and always overcome, because I believe that we can. So I'm going to say this. I'll say this first in Hebrew, and then I'll say the translation. And one last thing I should say is we do refer to Israel in the prayer, because in the Jewish tradition, the word Israel, before it was stolen by the Zionists, actually meant all of the people of Israel, all of the people of the Jewish community all over the world. It didn't mean the country Israel. It meant the Jewish community. So it does say the word Israel, but for the purposes of this prayer, I'm going to change Israel to ha'olam, which means the world, because we're mourning for the world. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabah. Bi'amad devarachu te v'yamlich malchute. B'chayechon uvyamechon uv'chayei dechol beit ha'olam. Ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabah mevarach le'olam ulmei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudasha barichu. Le'elah min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush b'chata v'nehemata. Da'amiran b'yama v'imru amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya. V'hayim aleinu v'ekol ha'olam v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al ha'olam v'imru amen. And the words are, magnified and sanctified is the great name of God throughout the world, which was created according to divine will. May the rule of peace be established speedily in our time unto us and unto the entire world. And let us say amen. May God's great name be praised throughout all eternity, glorified and celebrated, lauded and praised, acclaimed and honored, extolled and exalted, ever be the name of thy Holy One, far beyond all song and psalm, beyond all hymns of glory which mortals can offer. And let us say amen. May there be abundant peace from heaven with life's goodness for us and for all the people in the world. And let us say amen. May the one who brings peace to all the universe bring peace to us and all the world and all the people who are mourning. And let us say amen. Thank you.
Sorry, if I can just come back again quickly. Sorry, I have to go. Right, I've only got 2 people so far. I think we can do better than this, all right? Think about the worst thing that can happen. You make some new friends, all right? But I think you'll have a great time. I think you'll learn a lot, even if you think you know Lisbon very well already. So I'll give it another 5 minutes, right? We'll go out tomorrow on the Bush WhatsApp, but I'm only going to be here for another 5 minutes, so take a risk, yeah? Good.
Is there any way people can find you online? It's just that maybe not only the people who are here, but maybe they can spread and share with friends, or do you want to share? Like there's any
Yeah, tomorrow
website?
to go out in Cusco, right?
Yeah, you can go on my website, lisbonlives.wordpress.com. It's quite easy to remember, I think. Lisbon Lives, like a life, lisbonlives.wordpress.com. Okay, it's maybe the easiest way. You can contact me, my email through that website as well, so you can contact me if you have any questions.
Thank you. Okay, so one more text message. This is short, and I will try to keep it short because we happily have more people to come. So this is Diana. She is 22 years old, and she have never created content before. She is not a journalist, but she became a content creator because she really wants to tell the stories of this. This is just bits of some messages. She said, "Humanity means a lot these days. I want my family to evacuate because I don't want to see any of them to die. My father is not with us, so I'm responsible for them. It's so hard to feel afraid for them and losing them." But still, she learned really, really fast. Like we trained her to edit, to film and everything, and she's doing an amazing work on documenting stories, so you can also follow her. And next we will have Gonçalo. You ready? Woohoo!
Hello. So, can you guess what I'm gonna do? Sing, of course. Yeah. I'm gonna sing a song. It's gonna be in Portuguese, Brazil. It's from Brazil. But I'm gonna, it has a speaking part, and I'm gonna do it in my accent of Portuguese because I don't feel comfortable with the Brazilian, but I will sing in Brazilian because I like it. Anyways, this song speaks about the common struggle shared, unfortunately, by many communities of the world, fleeing your country because of war, because of bad conditions of life, like the Cubans, the Gypsies, the Syrians, and the Palestinians now. And I think it's a very relevant song. I hope you like it. All right. Acalmou a tormenta, pareceram o que a estes mares ontem se arriscaram, e vivem os que por um amor tremeram, e dos céus os destinos esperaram. Atravessamos o mar Egeu, o barco cheio de fariseus, com os cubanos, sírios, ciganos, como romanos, sem coliseu. Atravessamos pro outro lado do Rio Vermelho, no mar sagrado, os center shoppings superlotados de retirantes, refugiados. You, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Onde está meu irmão sem irmã? O meu filho sem pai, minha mãe sem avó, dando a mão pra ninguém, sem lugar pra ficar. Os meninos sem pais, onde estás? Meu Senhor, onde estás? Onde estás? Deus, ó Deus, onde estás que não respondes? Em que mundo, em que estrela tu te escondes? Embuçado no céu, há 2000 anos que te mandei o meu grito. Que embalde desde então corre o infinito. Onde estás, Senhor Deus? Onde estás? Atravessamos o mar Egeu, o barco cheio de fariseus, com os cubanos, sírios, ciganos, como romanos sem coliseu. Atravessamos pro outro lado do Rio Vermelho, no mar sagrado, os center shoppings superlotados de retirantes, refugiados. You, where are you? 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 Obrigado.
I always feel weird coming after people who sing well, because now it's like, Okay, so next, because we have some more people, next we will have Margarida. You ready? Nice.
Hi. I don't know what I'm doing here, speaking after Elizabeth, after Gigi. I'm super nervous and I don't know what I can say. I just wanted to share a poem with you. I think we always read this poem every time we get together on a poetry reading session, Palestinian poetry. Somehow we always end up reading this poem. It's called Sister Palestinian, from Susan Abu Haya. And English is not my language and I lost my glasses, so please forgive me for that. It goes something like this. Sister Palestinian, your fate was written the day you played hopscotch when they pulled the land from over your feet. So you carried your country on your back in the bags handed to you on the long march to oblivion. When your father, king of his castle, was forced to sleep on dirt, you offered him coffee and scrubbed his feet to save his pride. When your mother went mad and died with anguish, your tears watered a refugee's garden. Someone put 2 golden bracelets on your wrist, the braided bangles we all wear. So you stared at them on your wedding night, as you gripped the bedposts with white knuckles. The first time your husband hit you, it nearly knocked the country off your back. But your first baby was a promise too precious, so you sewed Palestine to your skin. When he came back from Israel's prison, you tenderly dressed his wounds, kissed them, and you prayed for him. You loved him, and he left 5 months after your second daughter was born. European women, he said, know how to please a man, he said. You had never been an exciting fuck. He didn't mind that European women couldn't pronunciate his name. He never knew that about his first daughter, whom you named Fairuz. For the voice that is your only solace. When another of history's storms raised your house, the winds carried you to foreign lands. And you were at home in the devastating freedom of answering to no one. When then you become an existing fuck, you find yourself searching over and over for some meaning in the heartbreak of an empty orgasm. The girls you raised were not Palestinian. The house you built was not yours. the country threatened, your skin sags as if a body of sorrow. You deserve better, sister. Come back in another life. To a country that holds you, a man who honors the language of your heart, and daughters, we will sing for you a Palestinian lullaby until you finally sleep. Free Palestine.
Free Palestine! 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 Free Palestine!
It's poems are a really great tool to resistance, and a powerful way we have to keep this collective memory alive. It's really to read Palestinian poems, learn about their food, their music, the kufiyeh, their culture, because that's exactly what the Zionist state is trying to erase. It's a very ugly strategy to, let the old people die by starvation, and they are targeting specifically women and children so that they can make sure we will not have the next generation of Palestinians. So I'm trying not to, not in a appropriation way, but I truly believe that we all have to become somehow Palestinians and guarantee that we will still amplify, honor, and spread the culture. So next we will have Hannah. Where is Anna? He's there. Thank you, Anna.
Olá, boa noite. Ups. Obrigada. Tá? Tá bom, obrigada. Hoje eu vou ler um poema em inglês, mas queria dar um bocado de contexto primeiro, porque hoje é um dia muito importante. Há 245 anos atrás celebramos a morte do Captain Cook, que levou uma facada no pescoço do rei nativo do Havaí. Então celebramos também a resistência havaiana hoje. Se calhar alguns de vocês não sabiam, mas nós europeus temos sempre uma forma macabra de mudar as datas, não é? E romantizar estas coisas, que eu acho bem, bora romantizar a resistência realmente. Mas pronto. Mas não... Também há 75 anos que o povo palestino está a tentar resistir e continua, e agora estamos todos mais cientes. E pronto, escrevi só umas palavras porque me estava a sentir muito romântica neste dia. Okay. Today, 245 years ago, marks the day of the Hawaiian resistance against colonialism. Today, Captain Cook got stabbed to death by the native ruler of Hawaii. Today, my Valentine is thirsty for liberation. Today, I am reminded of freedom fighters, resisting day in and day out. Today, my heart goes to them. I give out my energy to the freedom fighters of Palestine. to the men stripped naked of their humanity, only to remind us of our own vulnerable nudity. I know a lot of people have died today. I know a lot of people who are dying as we are here now. I would like us to honor them, the names we will never know, lovers who we will never get to meet. Today, my Valentine is resistance. I am not in love with the world right now. Its gaslighting, manipulation, starvation, occupation has made my desire dire, making me shiver with the idea of romance. Romance is dead until Palestine is free. Or maybe romance is resisting until Palestine is free. Dating is tagging the streets of Lisbon, spraying pink and red ink, until we all eventually fall out of love with the toxic status quo and start chanting, hey, 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 ho, the occupation's got to go, hey, hey, ho, ho, the occupation's got to go, hey, hey,
Ho ho, the occupation's had to go, hey hey. Ho ho, the occupation's had to go, hey hey. Ho ho, the occupation's had to go, hey hey. Ho ho, the occupation's had to go, hey hey. Ho ho, the occupation's had to go, hey hey. Ho ho, the occupation's had to go, hey hey. Ho ho, the occupation's got to go, hey hey. Ho ho, the occupation's got to go, hey hey. Ho ho.
Thank you. Okay, so we still have a couple of people, so I will not take long. Next, we will have Bruno. Is you around? Nice. There you go.
Bom pessoal, aproveitar aqui este silêncio só para recordar que estamos aqui no ar do Independente a acompanhar mais uma vigília pela Palestina. Vamos na 16ª ou 17ª, todas as quartas-feiras, 9h30, desculpem, 7h30, e nós estamos cá. E já sabem, se quiserem apoiar o nosso trabalho, podem entrar em contato connosco e concluímos aqui com o que está a passar.
To make this happen, it's really important. I prepared 2 songs to play. The first one is about collective strength, collective resistance, and something that it's very particular of the last months is like, well, the song is about that, but also hopefulness in a way, in an ironic way. And something that is particular about the last months is that I think a lot of us are feeling a lot of hopefulness. And I find that necessary. I find that that after we lose hope and we lose the will to ask for more answers from the ones on top, it's when we actually start to looking for hope around us and the ones around us and answers when the ones around us. And I think the song is a bit about this. To dance for your bread, my son, I was once where you stand. There's a beast with insatiable hunger. Its meanings needs crafters and skilled working hands. Needs a fortress high in the hilltop, and we are the great chosen crew.
a brick, but I am just one grain of sand. And don't tell me about busting the wrenches, it only brings pleasure and pain. But we are all lowly carpenters, so where we're taken is where we'll remain. And the master shall govern with unbroken backs. Look down from the top of the hill. You can cry to the night just as much as you'd like. There will always be towers to build. I could have been more than some stone-dragging vessel. I could have been more than some wood-cutting slave. But we are all lowly carpenters, so what have we power to change? And if you can't take no more, then get out of the way, for we got a place to get through. We wire their castles, their prisons and banks, build their mansions from cellar to roof. We got hammers, rakes and chisels. We could destroy any great wall we come to. But I am a lowly carpenter, so what have I power to do?
Thank you. Okay, let's see how this one goes. This one is an anti-mining song, and I want to take the opportunity to talk about what's happening in Barroso with lithium mining there and how people are resisting. So if you can have a look at that, if you don't know already, there's people there stopping machines every morning at 6 a.m., get involved, visit, take shifts, and have solidarity with everyone here and outside of these geographies, like participating in land defense, in the fight against displacement, and ecocide. Yeah. And it's an old song about coal mining. I don't think there's an author, it's just one of this. There's probably an author, but it's one of the songs that they just enter in the lore. And it's cool, it's great. It's...
No, you won't get me down underground in your mind. Away from the trees and the flowers so fine. Down in the dark where the sun never shines. No, you won't get me down in your mind. They dig for the coal for the most of their lives. Away from the children, away from their wives. They make all the streets seem the beat in the dark. But who's going to care when they're too old to work? There's many a miner that's fine on the ground. They died all alone when the roofs are pulled down. Down in the dark underneath the great beam. And he choke on his life, you know, fabulous things. No, you won't get me down underground in your mind. Away from the trees and the flowers so fine. Down in the dark underneath the great beam. No, you won't get me down in your mind. Destroy all the factories and burn down their shops. Fry all the companies and fry all the cops. Fry all the prisons and try to be free. So fuck So fuck off, you won't make a coal miner of me. So fuck off, you won't make a coal miner of me. Thank you.
Okay, so next we will have Hajar. Did I say it right? Yes? Okay, nice.
Good evening, everyone. So hard to come after Bruno with this energy. Yeah, I just wanted to quickly speak. Haven't prepared anything, as most people say when they come. What Reno has said and how she felt, I related so much. Every single word. And it got me thinking about the fact that how I admire all these babies, like this new generation in their, like in your 20s, early 30s, because I won't tell my age, but I'm much older than you. And I think that if one day Palestine is free, like in our lifetime, it will be thanks to you. Because I feel like my generation really fucked up. We should have been in the streets every week for Palestine. I'm very aware of the situation. I grew up in an Arab family. I know about Palestine. I know about the settler colonialism, everything. And we haven't done anything. We really like left the Palestinian down. And I feel so much energy in like the younger generation and how aware you are of what's the truth there, what's happening. I really admire you a lot. All you like organizing this every week, etc. Okay, I'm not that old. I was just born in the 80s, and I'm thinking about all the time we have lost, you know, all the people, all the missed opportunities to educate people, all the opportunities I would have had where we haven't done anything. I've worked during 12 years in what we call the corporate world, like big corporation, etc. And from time to time, you have this email popping up, oh, we're going to participate in Africa-Israel Business Summit, or we're going to do to the conference Israel in the media. I worked for a media group, and suddenly they started going to events in Israel. I always made clear that as an individual, I would not go. But I didn't start like the big conversation, like really like, you know, let's talk about it, why nobody should go. Because if I don't go, I know someone else will go, enjoy a free flight and do whatever entertainment they will have in what they call Tel Aviv, which is actually Jaffa. And then I'm like, okay, I don't go, but it's not enough because someone else will go. And we need to have these conversations. What you said, Reno, is so true. Like, it keeps me up at night. What can we do? I've seen people in Switzerland, in the US, starting hunger strikes. They don't care. They have 2.2 million starving people in Palestinian, they don't care. So if someone dies in the US or in Switzerland, they don't care. Shall we rent a boat, just go there, land there with the head, all of it? They will shoot at us. They will shoot at the ship. They would kill them. I mean, they would kill us. Look what they've done to Rachel Corrie. I mean, she was a US citizen. And they killed her, they crushed her body, literally. So, okay, no hunger strike, we cannot just go there like this. So, yeah, boycott. They have to feel completely isolated. Like, the Zionist state needs to disappear. It should not exist. It has no right to mistreat people at this level. It's just impossible, unbearable, unfathomable. I don't have any words, and English is not my first language, so I'm very limited in the number of words to describe them. But I've just read just before that Ryanair has cancelled all the flights to Tel Aviv in March and April. Yeah, Irish people, huh? Irish company. There should be no flight going to Tel Aviv, like people who work here, or if you know people working for TAP, for instance. We should pressure everywhere where we are. That's our only weapon. It's so powerful. It worked for South Africa. And for me, that's the only way to do it. Whatever the company, whether airlines, cultural institution, anything, boycott works. it works. If this state becomes completely isolated, it will not be sustainable. So start the big conversation. Don't do like me. Don't just say, oh, I will not go to this event, I will not travel there. It's not enough. It's not enough. Send them the link, show them, explain that why we call it apartheid. There are so many information available online. You can send the link, the data. Managers like to have like data and nice figures. We have this. It's online. You send them, it's crystal clear, it's obvious, it's an apartheid, it's a settler colonialism, they are killing people, children, kids, it's inhuman, it should not exist, it should not be this way, and that's it. And we have the proofs, we have the numbers, we have everything to prove it. So don't do like the old people like me, and continue speaking up and open the conversation in whatever sector you are working. It's worth it. It has to come from all sectors, industry, media, art, everything. Don't think that in your industry it's not so important because it's not like a weapon industry. No, all industry. I think it's a very, very, very powerful weapon. And yeah, that's the only thing, you know, that's the only thing we can do to help those who are doing the real fight, the freedom fighter, also the young people dying every day, because they are heroes, they are freedom fighters who are having weapons, fighting for their lives. They are nothing else than freedom fighter. I won't say the T word, you know it's bullshit. So to help this freedom fighter and be up to, you know, the mission they put in their life, we have to boycott and isolate this Zionist state. Thank you.
Thank you. Guys, thank you. I think this is one of the vigils that we had more people, and a lot of people just stayed for the 2 hours. And this, after 4 months of doing this every Wednesday, after we had a march in Lisbon on Saturday, so really thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Before we leave, we will have Maria Villa-Lobos. You ready? Where are you? You're there.
Thank you for this. I'll read a poem that I wrote in Sardinia, working with the women community. They are very, very, very old, but they used to work together during a war. And well, this is a poem about being together against stuff. Yeah, it's about sorority, and I think I want to share it. I learned how to run, to be on time. I felt the gate on my skin every time. One of my sleeves was always without an arm. That naked one was carrying my child. It's difficult to run when you are two people. It's difficult to get dressed when you're stressed and breastfeeding. The green light was stronger than our will. It didn't matter how we felt, how we feel. The red meant no, even if my body wanted to go inside. My mind was not in control. My body was only a tool. We were birds in a cage. 700 birds flapping their wings simultaneously. But my chest has no rage. Because it was a different age, a different time. I had only one baby, but 100 were mine. We were privileged after all. The money, the breaks, to see our kids crawl. The moment they started to walk. And it was funny how many could eat from the same bowl, drink from the same chest. It was a big house with 700 sisters and kids, but no space for guests. When the bomb sounded and the earth shook, everything was destroyed. We were always frightened and awake, but we didn't fall. We were together above it all. We never stopped making our cigars, like living in a jail without bars. The work was needed to survive in case the tomorrow would arrive, and we were, for sure, more than alive. We couldn't buy some bread. They advised us to boycott fish instead. That man that live above us, they only saw the top of our heads. So we found strength in sorority. That's the most beautiful thing about humanity. In the middle of the gray and the rain, even if our heart is covered in chains, when we hold hands, we feel brave. And we were saved by that sun that we raised in ourselves. And the trains, we push them down the hills. Can you imagine how does that feel? To turn a whole train. Can you imagine the size of our pain? The size of our will? Thank you so much.
Wow, obrigada. Okay, so just some notes to finish. Just to say that these some updates from last week. So Israeli airplanes are now also violating other airspaces as Lebanese airspaces, for example. They are also pressuring Meta to consider flagging content with the word Zionist so that we cannot say or talk about Zionism. So we will see. And also, you know, after all of this that has been happening in Rafah, we have to remember that Israel is a terrorist state. So on Friday, we will have a gathering, a protest, and a sentada. I don't know how to translate in English. Sit-in, yeah, right. A sit-in in front of the Zionist embassy, so in front of Israeli embassy at 30:30 on Friday. Even if you cannot come, please spread the word with your friends, with your allies, with people who cannot be here, but you know that are pro-Palestine and would like to know this. Friday, 30:30 in front of the Israeli assembly. So to finish, I just really from the deep and bottom of my heart, I want to thank you. Thank you really. I just have to share that on Saturday, I was actually like speaking with some of the journalists from whom I shared the messages, and they are getting tired as normal. And some of them just really just want to leave and don't know how. And I had this, I organized a lunch to my friends, the ones who were coming to the march. I decided to offer them lunch before the march. And I was having reading these text messages from those journalists before the march, and really I was super sad, and I almost didn't want to come to the march because I was afraid we would not have many people, and I really didn't want to deal with that. I was like, okay, if we don't have many people, I'm getting these messages, they are giving up. I think it's not even fair to say giving up, but they are giving up in a way. And I really don't want to go to Alameda and, you know, see just, 10 people there. I think I will break down and start crying. And it was amazing to see more than 3,000 people there shouting, full of energy, during 2.5, 3 hours, screaming for Palestine. And again, in this gathering right after the march, when I thought people would be tired, people already mobilized for Saturday, here you are again this Wednesday, and we are doing this every Wednesday. So really thank you. And I will say it in Portuguese. Let's remember Israel é um Estado assassino e viva a luta do povo palestino. Thank you. One less, Dima.
Israel é um Estado assassino
E viva a luta do povo palestino.
Israel é um Estado assassino e viva a luta do povo palestino. Israel é um Estado assassino e viva a luta do povo palestino. Israel é um Estado assassino e viva a luta do povo palestino. Israel é um Estado assassino e viva a luta do povo palestino. Israel é um Estado assassino e viva a luta do povo palestino. Israel é um Estado assassino e viva a luta do povo palestino. Israel é um Estado assassino e viva a luta do povo palestino.
Hi, hello, everyone. It's been a really hard day today and every day, and it's just getting worse to sustain hope and our energy and our mental health, and every day is just a struggle to remind ourselves that we're not gonna be defeated and we're just gonna keep going and keep going. At least this is what I tell myself to manage, to function as a human, woman, mother, friend, wife, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to be reading a speech written by Malcolm X about Palestine. Never forget, my friends, that the Palestinians, much like African Americans in the United States, have been subjected to a heart-wrenching history of suffering and torment. The birth of Israel in 1948 brought forth the mass expulsion and disposition of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians from ancestral homes. And this is a historic injustice that continues to haunt the lives of Palestinians to this very day. The situation in Palestine serves as a brutal reminder of the consequences of colonialism and the ruthless disposition of indigenous people. It is an agonizing reminder that the fight for justice knows no border, and we must stand united in solidarity with all oppressed people, whether they reside in the United States, South Africa, or anywhere around the world. Let it be unequivocally clear, advocating for the rights of the Palestinian people is not synonymous with denying the rights of security of the Jewish people. To fight for justice in Palestine is not an assault on any particular group, but an unwavering stand against the policies of Zionist state that has for far too long stripped Palestinians of their rights. We must remember the numerous Jewish voices also resound in the calls for justice and peace in Palestine, and their voices must not be silenced. In our relentless pursuit of justice for the Palestinian people, we must also acknowledge that it is the best interest of the entire world to seek just and enduring solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. I'm going to correct conflict, and I'm going to say occupation. It is pursued in the name of peace, stability, and the dignity of mankind. Malcolm X said this in 1964. Today we're in 2024 and we're still talking about the same thing and nothing have changed. And I've heard Gigi asking in the beginning of the vigil, what do we do? And I ask myself this every day. But how do you fight violence with love? How do you stop violence with love? How do you protect yourself from violence with love? I want to stop violence, but is love enough to stop violence? I really want to know that. I have no answer. I'm not advocating for violence, and I'm not advocating for any brutal injustice actions against humanity. I'm not. I just want to know, how do we respond to violence? And when I think about it on a very personal level. If someone is coming at me to hit me, I'm gonna hit them back. I'm gonna defend myself. I'm not gonna stand there and say, peace and love, yo, it's okay. You can take a piece of this face. No. And when I think about it, why the governments until now are not listening to us? Why? Why? Is it because we don't matter? Is it because our voice doesn't matter? Is it because we reach to the very deep into the matrix, that the matrix is so powerful that it's not even impossible to break anything through it? I refuse to believe that. And I refuse to believe that. How do we demand justice? And when does it stop? Thank you.
Bom pessoal, então a vigília vai terminar por aqui, nós também vamos terminar por aqui, já sabem como é que é, se quiserem para o nosso trabalho entrem em contato connosco, não temos planos para este fim de semana.
Free Palestine.
Por isso já sabem, se tiverem algum evento que achem interessante a gente informar, entrem também em contato connosco e estamos juntos aí. Liberdade para a Palestina, Free Palestine.